guys, I have started the live just a minute or two early. Move this over here. Cue. Hey. So let's see how many people join us. Like I said, I'm about about 8 or 9 minutes early. So yeah. Like that, like that. Okay, everybody, I'm bringing everybody online here real quick so that we can get started. I'm started a few minutes early, and that's okay. So we can discuss a couple of things. You know, it's funny. I was going to shoot a TikTok video. I got this little pocket everyday carry flashlight from Olight, and I went to post a video this morning, and it looks like they maybe had some type of violation with TikTok, and TikTok has disabled their account. It's Share Fishing joined. Good morning. Thank you for joining this morning. Lucy, hey Lucy, how you doing? Sorry I started like a minute or two early. I clicked the wrong button. You know, that happens when you're old. Sometimes you just, you know, do stuff and then you realize that you started a live before you're supposed to, or before it's scheduled. I guess you can start a live anytime you want to. Best dress, how's it going? Milner joined, good morning. Fishing Buddy joined, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? It's Thursday. You know, for some reason I kept saying, God, tomorrow's Friday. That's great. Well, it's not Friday, it's Thursday. Even though, hey, that's good too. Hey, Eric, how's it going, buddy? Good morning. Everybody's up bright and early. So grab your coffee real quick if you haven't grabbed it yet. I got mine right here. So here in Central Texas, it's really mild right now. I was just looking at that. I knew you were going to ask me that. What is the temps today? It's going to be 83 degrees today. Best dress hobo. Hey, man, how's it going? Yeah, 83 today. It's about 60 this morning. So, yeah, the other state. Mowing God, good morning. How you doing this morning? Oh, y'all are too funny. Oh, the Blue Ridge Mountains, aren't they beautiful? The last 2 days haven't been over 43. It's 60 today. That's great. Never been to the Blue Ridge Mountains, but I'd like to see them before I bite the bullet one day. Let you join. Good morning. Morning, everybody. So hopefully everybody's gotten their coffee. Morning, guy, what's the temp there? Is it like in the 40s, or do you have your heater running? No, I do not have my heater running. I'm naturally I'm hot natured, so I'm ready for some cooler weather. We had that little snap there where it got in the 40s in the morning, but it was heating up into the 80s during the day, which is all right. Do you have a heater running? No, I do not have a heater running, my God. But if it gets cold enough, I will have one. I do have one behind me here sitting. I've never been to Texas, but always wanted to visit. It's a great place to visit. There's a lot to do. Okay, that's your washing machine. Dryer. Oh my God, what do you hear? Are you hearing things? Here, let me move. I have the mic turned all the way up. Let me turn the mic down and I'll pull it over here just a little bit. Oh, I think I know what you're hearing. That's the neighbor mowing his yard this morning. No, I'm just kidding you. I think it's the compressor or something running on the freezer that you're hearing. You must have good hearing. I've heard you're blind in one eye and can't see out the other, but you must have a good set of ears. Or I have a really good mic, one of the two. Oh, y'all are too funny. Let's talk. Speaking of, let's see, what was I looking at this morning? Well, I was reading a little bit of Bible study, try to be prepared tonight. So I'm when it comes to studying the Bible, I can tell you that I am ignorant, but I'm trying to educate myself, and I think Ed's helping me, and so, not that I, never went to church. I'm not a heathen, but oh my God's laughing. Well, I so joined. Hey man, what's up? So everybody, I started like 6 or 7 minutes early. See, it's just now 5:44 here in Texas, so you cannot prepare for the pearly gates. You're right. You either are or you ain't. And there ain't but one way to get there. And nothing that we do on this earth is going to prepare you. So what Mowing God's trying to say is just him being nice to me or me being nice to him won't get you in. We're born with the knowledge you'll ever need. You were born with the knowledge you'll ever need. I don't know. Yeah, well, I guess depends on how you look at that. I always thought that you should never stop learning. That's always been my thing. Hey, Kim, good morning. Kim's joined us. Hey, guys, I got something to tell y'all. Okay, 5-0. Earl Burton just joined. Good morning. So, but before I tell you, everybody take your finger out. A little finger exercise so you don't develop Calcop just morning. Good morning, Chris. Because I don't want you to thank you for the rose there, Best Dress Hobo. I appreciate that. That way you don't develop arthritis, and it gives you something to do while I'm thinking about what we're going to talk about, and then tap on the screen. If you want to join the fan club and you're new here, send me a heart me emoji, and that adds you to the fan club. Other than that, it's free. I think it's a point to send one of those. Stephen, Dave, when was the last time you felt genuine peace in the face of, wait a minute, there we go, the void? Genuine peace. Stephen, that's a really deep question to ask this time of morning. I barely know what my name is, but that's a good question. When was the last time you felt genuine peace in the face of the void? Can I get back with you on that? I might have to think about that. Cal Cop, thanks, man. I appreciate you. Hey, speaking of, I knew that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. Let's see, morning. I'll be on in a few minutes. Got to run. Oh, Kim's going to have to run early. So, Kim, just make sure before you leave that there's like 10 or 15 people have joined. So there was a couple of things. Yesterday was the first day that, I've been streaming TikTok and YouTube at the same time. And I was using the computer to stream the YouTube feed and my phone for TikTok. Well, Kim's been my number one fan and longtime friend, and she's been joining every morning. And I'm so happy that she's here to keep me on the straight and narrow. So I got to be careful what I say. I don't want her to rat me out to the wife. No, I'm just kidding. And it just weren't, getting very many people join from YouTube. So, but I kept doing it because YouTube records the live and then posts it as a video. So it does help my YouTube channel for viewers, and people could watch it down the road. And they were, I was probably not what I call getting very many views, 15, 20, 25 views after the fact. What's it say? Being slow means peace. Yeah. Sorry. Macabre question. Take your time to respond. I will, Stephen. Thanks. I appreciate that, Stephen. Hey, Stephen, where are you from? Aaron, what's your favorite brand? What's my favorite brand? I'm not really a brand person. I like nice clothes, but I'm cheap. If you put two shirts in front of me and one of them's $5 and the other one's $50, I'll buy the $5 one probably. I get a lot of shirts at Sam's Club. I'm always looking for a deal for shirts. Because most men, or at least for me, I wear jeans 99% of the time. If it's too hot, then I'll wear a pair of shorts. But you need to have a lot of different shirts so that you can change off what you're wearing. So like music, yep, I do like music. Country music's my favorite. Some of the old classics is where I really I like that. I married my favorite brand and found out she was nuts. I could say something, but I am not going there. It is way too early for that. We'll have to do that on a, I don't know, after hours live or something. I think Morn God lays down at night and his brain's just like running about funny things he could say on lives, because I don't know. That's pretty funny. Anyway, so yesterday I switched things up. I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Since I don't have many people joining on YouTube, I'll just stream YouTube from my phone, and TikTok has greatly improved their computer software, which I'm so thankful for, because it makes it easier for me to read the comments and try them all and all of that. So yesterday was the first day I did it. And like I said, with YouTube recording the lives, they always they turn it into a video, and then so it's a good thing for me, because then I can get more views after the fact. And TikTok doesn't do it that way, which is all right. I get it, because TikTok has a limitation on, I think 10 minutes is as long as a video as you can create. But after the fact yesterday, so one of the things that I thought was unusual is we had like probably 4 or 5 people joined the live yesterday from YouTube, which I was tickled to death and pleased. And then I looked at that video that was created during the day when I got home last night, and it had like 350 views, which is just, in a 10-hour span. And so I thought, wow, what did I do different? And the only thing I can contribute it to is that when I was streaming the YouTube from the phone, it changes the format to the 16.9, for your mobile device. And maybe that's it. Maybe more people were scrolling using their mobile phones, and that's why I got more views. I don't know. We'll see. But that was a nice way to end the day. So no more of that. Let's see here. Sorry. Yeah. So like this shirt, this is a perfect example. I can't remember what's the brand of this. I have to look at Orvis. I went to work. My wife bought me like 2 or 3 different color shirts. This same brand, this Orvis brand. I have no idea who Orvis is. I mean, he could be a rice farmer in Arkansas somewhere. Aaron. Your all-time bad is Rush. Good. Anyway, so I don't know what this Orvis brand is. I'm like clueless, I go to work and somebody says, dude, you started wearing Orvis? And I was like, what? They're like, that shirt you have on. I was like, yeah, what about it? It's like, I don't even go in that store. That stuff's so expensive. Where'd you get those? I said, I didn't buy them. I said, my wife bought them. I said, I hope she didn't do that. So I asked her when I got home, I was like, oh my God, did she spend $50 for a shirt? I'm going to kill her. And she bought them at Walmart, not Walmart, at Sam's Club. And I think she said she paid $8.99 for them or something like that. And then I went on their website and these sell for like $80 a shirt. And I was like, never would I pay that. But they're nice shirts. I mean, I like nice clothes. I just don't have a brand per se that I wear because I'm cheap. If it covers you up and it's not offensive, well, yeah. So, Ed, the question was, Aaron asked the question, what's your favorite? So what is my favorite? Oh, God, I'm not too sharp this morning. I hadn't had enough coffee. He's probably thinking this guy is off the rails. I'm thinking he asked me what brand. He said, what's my favorite band? I can't read this morning. Y'all are all laughing. Go ahead. It's all right. I do that from time to time, a little dyslexia. Well, he did that. Sorry. Band. He did say brand. Okay, I wasn't losing my mind. He was asking me brand. He said brand. He meant band. I like George Strait, but probably my favorite country music singer is Merle Haggard. I like a lot of his songs. There's a lot of musicians that I like some of their songs, but not all of their songs. But there's very few of Merle Haggard songs that I don't like. So, and I grew up listening to him. So yeah. My favorite brand is Polo. I do have a few of those, I think. So yeah, Haggard and Jones, there you go. Well, Jones never showed up though. Kentucky Headhunters. Well, it's really surprising to me that a lot of times when I'm scrolling through TikTok, that these unknowns, people that I have no idea who they are, and they're just, just a regular Joes like the rest of us. And I watched one last night and they were playing a Merle Haggard song, but it was his son and his dad. It was the son and the father playing together acoustic guitars. And man, they were They were good, surprisingly. I see a lot of people that I don't even know who they are that are trying to get started in the music business, and some of them are really, really, they're really good. You love the scenes, JB 5001. Huh. I don't think I've ever heard of those people. JB, where are you from? Brady 225 joined. Well, he drove by. I like the unknown. They don't have it. You're right. You know, I tell stories all the time about when I was in high school. George Strait he was young and just starting out in the business, and you could go to San Marcos, which was just up the road to a college town, and you could see him in all kinds of venues, and you could walk right up to him. And you know, he played good music back then, and that's where he became popular, was right here in Central Texas. So I've met him personally several times before he got really big, and then let's see who else. Dang it, what's his name? And I just was listening to some of his gospel music last night. I can't think of it. I'll think of his name here in a minute. But I met him in a local Walmart, him and his wife, and he was, I think it was his first album, and he was signing, back then I think it was CDs. CDs were still popular, and he actually did a little concert in the Walmart parking lot. So that was back when Walmart was Walmart and not now. Oh, I have the perfect question of the day for you. You ready? I was thinking about this one last night. CryptoWise just joined. Thanks. Good morning. Hey, you joined the perfect time. So this is a question I was thinking about. It just came to me last night because everybody's always making cracks about, you know, having to go to Walmart, working for Walmart. When you retire, you have to work for Walmart. And a lot of them are really funny. But I just thought of something. When you go to Walmart, and we all go, whether we want to admit it or not. All right, hang on. I got my peeps leaving for work. So when you go to Walmart and you get your stuff, check yourself out, and you're walking out the door, and you see this Walmart employee standing in the entryway, do you walk up to them and show them your receipt, or you just walk by them? I was just curious to see what people do. Do you walk right up to them and show them your receipt on your way out, or do you just walk right by them? Really? People got to think about that one? I just walk by unless they ask. Okay. Yeah. Josito just joined. Good morning. Ed walks by. Okay. Good. Guess we had a bunch of people jump off. That's what I do too. I just walk by them, but user 729 is a drive-by. Okay. Yeah, that's what I do too. I just walk right by them, and yeah, you know, I'll say, hey, how you doing? You know, they might say, have a nice day. They might just stare at you. I don't know, but yeah, you have no lawful reason to stop and show them your receipt at all. A lot of people think you have to, but you don't. Now, if you're in a Sam's Club, that's a different story. You do need to stop and show them, and it's because you signed an agreement when you when you got your membership that you would. And that's including, a lot of people don't realize that. But Sam's Club has gotten really good, or at least here. I have the app, and so, you know, as I'm getting stuff in Sam's Club, I can just scan it, and I have my personal credit card attached to the app. I can pay for it before I ever even get to the front of the store, walk right out. And initially, when they started that app, you had to, it popped up like a QR code on your phone, and they would, you know, scan it. Now they've got these scanners that you walk through, and as soon as you walk through, I guess it detects the app on your phone, and you're out the door. They're just like, hey, have a good day, and you're done. So I tell you, that scan and go is the way to. We have both here. We have Costco's and Sam's, and we're kind of like right in the middle. So you could go to either place, but a lot of times I go to Sam's just because they have that scan and go app, and it just makes it so much easier. I don't have to, you know, I don't have to wait on anybody. I don't have to stand in line. I can go in there, pick up what I got, scan it, pay for it, and be out the door and on my way. So I really like that app. Now, Walmart has a similar app, but of course they want you to pay for it. And I want to say it's $49 a year or something like that. And I actually have the app because they offered it to me for free. 2.5 hours to the nearest Costco. Well, Chris, you're not missing anything. I prefer Sam's. I just like how they set their stuff up. Costco, you do have to wait in line. They don't have a scan and go. Their prices are higher. You know, and there's stuff that I like that I get at Sam's that you can't get in Costco. So there you go. Isn't that funny? Yeah. So that was my question of the day. Like, if you're in Walmart and you walk by, do you just walk by them? That's what I do. But, you know, I would nearly say there's a little bit of profile in there, because I've seen this too. Somebody's in front of me, you know, Black, Hispanic, or teenager, and the person at the door stops them and asks them for their receipt. Yet I walk right by and they don't even blink an eye. So is that profiling? I think it is. I think people are profiled in Walmart when you're walking to the front door. Just my opinion. I'm not trying to stir anything up. It's just something that I realized. I was like, wow, that's strange. And I probably have seen it 100 times and never thought about that. But Bearded Operator, Scotland. Bearded Operator, are you in Scotland right now? Huh. Wouldn't that be crazy if somebody joined the live from Scotland? Aussie boys just joined. Hey, how's it going? No, North Carolina at the moment, still recovering from Helena. Okay. Well, that's all right. You're welcome here. Thank you for joining us this morning. I guess all the people who joined us on YouTube yesterday, you know, I asked people that were joining the live from YouTube, like, how, you know, why did you join? And they just, so I guess it was just a sheer accident. But you know, we don't know. We'll keep doing our thing. And Ed, you were right. I found a device, and I've got the phone right here near where all the comments are, so that I can look in one direction. Great idea. Thank you for helping me out with that. There used to be a lot of people from different countries, but now that's that's American based. Yeah. Huh. Cool. Yeah. So it worked out really good. Yeah, I'm looking in the same direction. I'm not breaking my neck going back and forth. So yeah, worked out good. So guys, it looks like they finally voted to open up the government again. And I didn't see this morning. Is today the first day that they're actually going to be, quote, opening the government again? Has anybody read anything about that? Franklin just joined. Nobody. WRCA finals. All right. Iceman just joined. Hey, Chris, I did see that on the news. They had livestock inspectors down in the valley stopping and inspecting cattle for that screwworm stuff. And then I heard you on one of the videos also talking about it. So everything I've read about it so far, it looks like it hasn't come across the Texas-Mexico border yet. Sure hope we don't have to deal with that. That sounds like some pretty nastiness. Yeah. They were on the news last night here locally. They were showing inspectors stopping and doing inspections. Apparently it moved into northern Mexico fairly fast, I guess. But yeah, we definitely don't want to get anything like that in our with our cattle. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Everything I've read said it would be you would become a vegetarian real quick because it would just skyrocket meat prices. Not that they're not already high, but it would do even more. And anyway, so I think the government's supposed to open today. And if I could do one thing today for all of Congress, it would be fire every one of them. I saw some guy on TikTok the other day, he ranting and raving, carrying on about it. But he's right. He said if you were expected to be at work and you decided that you were just going to take 40 days off, you'd be fired. And so that's what we should do to the Congress too. We should just fire every one of them. They decided they didn't want to work. They didn't want to come to work and do what we pay them to do. And they're, way overpaid. I think we should lower their salaries to $30,000 a year. We don't provide them any health insurance. We make it be on a 1099, so they have to figure out their own taxes. And at the end, at any given point, with no reason other than we just don't like you, we should be able to fire you. What do you think about that? We eradicated them in the 60s. The government shifted funding to other things, and now here we are again. Wow. I didn't even, of course, in the 60s, I was pretty young, so I wouldn't have known that. I didn't realize that we had actually had an infestation of those. That's strange. Yeah, well, win some, lose some. But it's kind of like, it seems like we do that. We do that with human vaccinations too. People get vaccination, we eradicate polio, and then people start thinking, oh no, let's don't get a shot. And polio comes back. Now other things have popped up. What was it that popped up in West Texas this year? Was that measles or chickenpox? It was either one of the two, measles or chickenpox. And they had down around Lubbock, man, they had a ton. Jonathan popped in and out. There we go. So yeah, for sure. Let me see. Anything else exciting going on? Not really. I've got to work on the wall behind me this weekend, if I can squeeze it in. Maybe we should make Congress a merit-based system, compensation system. It sounds good to me. Hey, Hunter, good morning. How's it going, buddy? Uh, Hunter popped in. He said, forgot his coffee, so he had to grab a cup and pop back in. Thanks for joining us this morning. I had to put my dog down. That's good. That's good. Oh, so anyway, yeah, I'm gonna work on that wall, and let's see, what else am I doing this weekend? All the honeydew stuff. But yeah, let me show you this again because some people weren't on. So let me hold it up here where you can see it. You see that little flashlight? They call that an everyday carry flashlight, and this one I got on TikTok. The company sent it to me as a free sample, and so I was going to shoot a video this morning before going live because I'm kind of impressed with it. It's this little thing, and you can see it's probably, let me see, I thought I had my tape measure out here. Let me look. I didn't measure this, but I wanted to see. So it's 3.5 inches long. It only uses one single AAA battery, and it's metal outside, so it's pretty durable. It's waterproof. So I went to make a video on it this morning, right? And so when you're doing product reviews, you always have to go look because TikTok's or the people who are on TikTok, their shops, it seems like they're constantly changing price. And if you don't check before you post it, TikTok, and you post one price and they've changed it, and this has happened to me multiple times, TikTok will try to give you a violation for putting, like false advertising or something. And so then you end up having to delete it. I really think that you should be able to edit your video, any of your videos, even if they've been posted. It doesn't matter how long it is. You should be able to go back to it and edit it without losing view count and all that other stuff. But you can't. You get one option, you do it. If you make a mistake, you get one time to delete, edit it. But if you've posted it and you didn't realize you made a mistake, and let's say it's got 500 views, and you go, oh, that's a major mistake, I need to fix that. And so you want to edit that same video. Yazan just joined. Hey, Yazan, thank you for joining here from YouTube. We're just talking about something TikTok does. Anyways, so if you hit that edit delete, it's like you start at 0 and it's a whole new video. And you hear some people say don't do that, other people say do that. But anyway, I wish you could edit them. So I go to post this, and I get a message pop up because I want to add the link, the shopping cart for this little flashlight. It says the company has violated, and they took them off. And I'm like, wow. So because these little flashlights would make a great Christmas, stocking stuffer. I like them. I don't know very many people that don't like flashlights for some reason. My wife says, how many flashlights do you need? Well, when the lights are out, you need a lot of flashlights. But I like these because you can put them in your pocket, carry them with you. You can. I usually keep 1 or 2 in the truck. I've given them away to friends. So like, hey, you got a flashlight in your car? Nope. Here, let me give you this. Take this flashlight. And especially now, this one's not a rechargeable, but they do make some that are similar to this that are rechargeables. And like just a little USB-C, like you would charge your phone. Boom. What's it going on? Use your wife's candles and see what happens. I have a real aversion to candles, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. Hey, Azan, where are you from? Okay, so but anyway, yeah, so that's what I ran into. But I really like this little screwdriver. This flashlight weighs 1.45 ounces, so it doesn't weigh anything. And I believe I looked at it last night, and I think they had it on sale for like somewhere around $10. So like for a stocking stuffer or, you know, a gift, you're not spending a ton of money, and they were pretty cool. And this is the desert. I think this was the desert color. They had it in black, of course, and but they had a lot of other colors too. So like if you had daughters, I was going to get some for my granddaughters because, you know, I just thought it'd be cool. And it, I don't know, I was going to show you the, come on, there you go. See how bright that is? I'll point it. It's crazy. But so I guess I don't do a video, but okay. So now let me tell you my candle story. I don't think I've ever told this one before, and why I hate candles, period. And women have a tendency to love to burn candles. And we have a rule in our house. If you're not in the room with the candle, that candle is not going to be lit. When I was much younger, when I was a kid, I had an aunt that died in a house fire because she had a candle in her bedroom and it was going, and she fell asleep, and the candle burned through, set her dresser on fire, burned all her clothes, and ended up killing her. She died from smoke inhalation. So that was one. And then two, when Donna and I had probably been married, I don't know, maybe a year or so, she did a very similar thing, and woke up to, and luckily I was working nights then, so it was during the daytime. Why the world she had a candle going, I have no idea. But she had set it on a dresser, and the glass that the candle was in got hot, and it got hot enough to set the dresser on fire. And I wake up with smoke in the room. And so when you say candle and women, I got no patience for it. And so, yeah, we don't have candles unless you're standing there in the room or, you know, in the kitchen maybe, but candles cause house fires and kill people every single day. I think it's the worst thing they ever came up with, at least for now. Of course, if you don't have any light, I guess, you know, they do put off some light. And I know there's you know, I've been told, I've never lived up north where there's really bad, heavy snows and you're out on the road, that, you know, they said that you should keep certain things in your trunk, like, you know, a candle, peanut butter, extra blankets, in case you were to break down on the highway, and that, you know, having a candle could produce enough heat to keep you from freezing to death. So in those cases, I get that, but I have a real aversion to them, and probably will till I am not here anymore. If there was candles to decoration, wouldn't exist. Yeah. Yeah, there is a reason why it's called a nut loose behind the wheel mowing god, and that would be me. So yeah, you know, when you least expect it. So that's bright. That's the lower of the two. So yeah, but it's pretty handy. And you know, the bad thing about this one is that you have to, what if the battery's dead, then it doesn't work. I actually keep a rechargeable one in my truck because, you know, you can plug it in, and if you, because, you know, that's the other thing about flashlights is when you need one right now, not one that you have to charge up for 45 minutes. However, if it's the only one you got, if you can at least charge it, well, yeah. Yep. And if you've ever, you know, of course, we only know one person here that's been a peace officer. They know how important flashlights are. And and I have a couple of, but those those flashlights that police officers carry, man, those things are that yes, they are a flashlight. Of course, I can remember way back when you couldn't get a flashlight like this. The flashlights that police officers carried were probably 2 foot long and probably weighed 5 pounds. And yeah, I have some of those mag lights, and so they weren't only used as a flashlight during traffic stops or looking around. They also could be used to defend themselves, and I've seen that happen a time or two. But now, of course, it's technology, and they make them a lot smaller. And so now you'll see police officers a lot of time, and they have what they call an everyday carry flashlight, and they carry it in their shirt pocket. And some of them are pretty strong. So yeah, they're made out of love from the Bible. There you go. Done it. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. I like flashlights. Oh, I actually was approached. I guess it was last night. And I can't think of the name of the company, but they make knives, and I don't know. I like knives too. I don't have a huge collection of them, but I kind of like them. And they have, and I'm guessing, I don't know this for sure, but I think they have like some type of a subscription method. But they send you a pair of knives, and you don't get to pick. It's kind of like a surprise, like, oh, surprise. I don't know how many people would ever do that, but they want to send me one of their surprise boxes, and it's got a couple of knives in it. So when I get it, I'll show it to you, see what y'all think about it. Would anybody ever subscribe to that? I don't think I would. But you never know. What do you say, Chris? Would you subscribe to something like that? Where, if they sent you a surprise box with 2 different knives in it, once a month, once every 3 months, would you do something like that? I just don't think I would. Anyway. So what does anybody got anything? Well, we know that Chris is going to the rodeo tonight. That's good. Chris, do you have somebody that that's performing or riding in that? Or are you just going as an inspector, or what are you doing there? You have a whole cabinet full. That's funny. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the aroma, that's the thing that the girls like about the candles, and I've lost my mind a time or two and embarrassed myself getting mad over it, but it's I always try to make that it's a serious thing, and yeah, my granddaughters, of course, they see what their mother does, and they like to have sweet smelling candles too, but it's just getting that point across that that's not like having a flashlight sitting on the dresser that you leave turned on. Those things will burn your house down and kill you. And maybe they've made them safer than they did when I was a kid. They probably have, but I don't know. It's one of those things that something happens. You ever ate anything in your life and got food poisoning from it, and then you're like, wow. Yeah. Never eaten that again. So that's happened to me, and it's taken years, and eventually sometimes you sometimes you go back to eating it. I don't know. I could so explain. Okay. My God, do you have any power to your house, or you just use candles? So I live with 4 women, so I know about candles. They're, yeah. I'm always that's my biggest concern with them. It's called a generator. Oh man, that's funny. It's called a generator. Muhammad, Donna's World joined. Hey Donna, how's it going? So one of my guys got an interview. He's got a face-to-face interview at 9:45 this morning. He was worried that I wouldn't let him off. I was like, absolutely not, go. And it's with the DA's office in Travis County. So yeah, I hope he gets it. He's got several interviews, and then I've got both two of the guys that work for me. I've got them interviews with local school district, and so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that my goal is I've got to help them find a job that they can start to work on January the 3rd. So I was telling one of them yesterday, they're like, well, are you going to apply for that job? Because it's contacts that I have in the business, and I've been reaching out to them and say, hey, if you hear something, let me know. We need to find these guys a job or help them find a job. I can't go do the interview for them or any of that, but they're both very qualified and really good employees. And so I said, if we get down to the last day and somebody shows up, takes our keys from us, and locks the door, and we all walk out, as long as y'all are walking out with a job, I will rest easily. And I take a 25% commission. I told them both that too. They cracked up laughing. So I don't, but it's a good idea. Well, he just drove by. So yeah, I'm doing everything I can to help them find stuff and keep an eye out. And so that's my hope, is that they find a job before they lock the doors on us. But they really hadn't told us anything other than they said January the 2nd, I think, is supposed to be our official last day. So but they haven't given us any direction of we probably have nearly 2 truckloads of inventory in our office warehouse type place where we are. So yeah. And so I don't know what we're doing with it, but guys have good days, bad days. Of course, I feel really fortunate where I'm at. Wasn't ready to retire, but fortunate that maybe it's time. And I'm going to do this, and this is fun. So I have to just hope that my wife doesn't want to choke me, being here, because I think that there's when you're married and been married a long time, Ed's been married a long time, Chris been married a long time, if you think about it, you don't spend, there are times you spend time together, but for the most part, Monday through Friday, one goes to one. If you both work, you both go to your jobs, and you're at your jobs 8, 9, 10 hours out of the day. Sometimes, like in Ed's case, he works around the clock sometimes, but you're just apart. You're doing different things, and you're not with each other. And then when you retire, and you're both retired and you're both at the house, works from home too. Okay, all right. Yeah, it is an adjustment. It sure is. And now for me, I've worked from home, just different spurts over the 16 years for multiple reasons. COVID, we worked from home for about 6 months. some transitions, selling one property, moving to another. That transition time, we were at home for about 3 or 4 months. So I've had and when I first went to work for the company, it was a remote work type job. Did that for about a year. I personally like going to an office, and maybe it's just because I've always done that. But there are some benefits to working from home too. Like my wife says, her biggest benefit of me working at home was me getting the laundry done. So yeah, and I don't mind doing laundry. It's not a big deal, but both people home all day, every day. Not sure how that's going to work out. She'll probably want to kill me in about a week. I have a rule. I never take more than a week off at a time because I start to go stir crazy. And yeah, so we'll see how that works out. But I always look at it like this. So if you have to look at the positives, so that's what I tell these guys all the time. I said, I really kind of took this mentality when I turned 50. And at 50, I owned my own business, was making good money, had a partner in the business, and everything fell apart in about a 3-day period. It ended up being a lawsuit. It was ugly. And then the economy tanked about the same time, and it was hard to find it. I didn't realize how hard it was going to be at 50 to find another job. And so and it wasn't going to be in the field that I'd been working in. So yeah, it was different. I had people tell me, you're too old. You're not young enough to do that job. It was tough. That time I remember, I know I put in well over 100 applications, and out of that, I probably got 3 or 4 interviews. And actually I got a job because, when all of that fell apart, I had just moved into this home. And so I just, just signed a big fat mortgage, and lose your job. That's not a good feeling, but that's just us. Yeah. I think I think I will. I'm adjusting to it. At first I wasn't adjusting well, I don't think, and I was probably making everybody around me pretty miserable, but I'm adjusting. I'm finally resolved at this point that, hey, I have a number of days left, but I should be very thankful because I have planned between the severance that they're going to pay me and, I've got about 10 weeks of vacation time that I haven't used. So that'll pay me. And then that should get me to within 3 months of being able to start drawing Social Security. I keep thinking, I'm like, I'm old enough to draw Social Security. Do I look that old? Anyway, but it's a good thing because, I paid into it all these years, so I might as well start getting some benefit from it. And then, my plan is I'm going to try to focus on my affiliate marketing and doing lives and see how it goes for 6 months. And, I thought about this the other day. I thought, well, if I do this for a while and I'm bored or, it doesn't seem to be doing it for me, I'll just go find some other job. And that's why I tell these guys, I said, think about this. Yeah, it's not fun that you're losing your job. That's terrible. Because one guy's like 49 and the other guy's like 52 or 53. I said, but look at it like an opportunity. You could go and do whatever job you want to do. You don't have to work in IT. You could do something else. What? Oh, it's making me do the O. Are you real? Yes, I'm real. Okay, there we are. So yeah. Hey, Kristen, how you doing? Thank you for joining us this morning. Yeah, so that's I feel really fortunate and You know what they always say, God's in control, and he really is. Or at least it seems like it for me anyway. So yeah. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm doing some things to maybe prepare myself, and kind of getting some things set up, so that I have stuff to do. Of course, the wife has a list about this long of projects. I'm telling you, it's like you need to go paint this room, change that, do this, mow the grass, take out the trash. So, I'll just have a new boss and be doing different things. So anyway, yeah. And it's Thursday. What time is it? It's 6:37. For some reason, I do not know why. I come out here and sit down at the desk. I started getting things set up, and I hit live and then looked at my watch and said, wow, usually I'd be running late. I was 10 minutes early this morning. I was like, why did I do that? But it worked out all right, I guess. Yeah. So did y'all see the question of the day that I posted last night about it'd be fun. Yeah, I will. Hey Chris, be careful out there, okay? Have a good day. What was I gonna say? Brain fade. You ever have that? Oh, that's what I was going to do. Just told me. Give me a second. I was asking about question of the day. The one I posted yesterday about you had to describe your mood with either a movie title or a song lyric. Oh my God. Some of those answers were hilarious. Yeah. So anyway, it was great. And then, I think the reason I started early this morning too, I was kind of reading through the information that Ed sent me about tonight's Bible study. So hey, if anybody's here that hadn't joined our Bible study, definitely. It starts at 6:30 Central Standard Time. Ed will be going live. So Ed, come join us on the live and let's do Bible study tonight. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I was doing this morning. I think that's why I was out here early and hit the go live. Whoop, that's not what I meant to do. But yeah, so it's Thursday. I kept thinking, I kept telling my daughter, I said, God, it's Friday. No, it's Thursday. Hey, Dewana, how's it going? But I was kind of excited about that yesterday on YouTube that we actually had some people join other than Kim. Kim always joins, and I appreciate that. But that it got that many views after the fact, which, because I know there's a lot of people that don't get up as early as we do, and that's totally fine. I'm just as happy if I'd like them to join during the live, but if they just want to watch it afterwards, that's okay too. It benefits me either way. Anyway, so when I get through with the wall behind me, it's going to be extended over in that direction. I've moved a cabinet. I'm getting rid of this old ugly cabinet, and I'm going to finish that wall, so I'll have some more signs, some more space to expand my signed collection. I did put up, can you see? So if I point, I put up this one right here. Somebody sent me. It says it says insured by Smith and Wesson, security by Winchester, and funeral arrangements by John Deere. I thought that was so funny. I said, you could put that by your front door. It'd be kind of like a security camera. Ed, see you tonight, buddy. Thanks for seeing me. Yeah. So then let's see what else. I think I had another one. Oh, I don't know if you can see from there. Oh yeah, you can see it. The little blue one right there. So I put that one up, and then I forgot that I have this one. So I'm gonna put that up, but I hadn't decided exactly where I'm gonna put that. That one up, yeah. So Ed, see you tonight, buddy. Have a good day. Yeah. I was wondering if Dewana, who was it? I was wondering if Cowboy was going to join, but he didn't join today. Mowing God's, I guess, still with us. He's quietly in the background. And you. Anyway, Dewana, did you see the question of the day yesterday? Where I asked to describe your mood, and you had to use either a movie title or a song lyric. So like when I do those questions of the day, no, you didn't see it? Okay. Go check it out, because, oh my God, some of the answers were just hilarious. And then see, what was the other one that I thought that I got a lot of feedback on? I was asking about, it was about work. You know, do you get to work early, on time, or late? And, you know, I was looking at all these answers, and everybody's like, I get there early. And I was thinking to myself, either we got a lot of people that lie about that, or we have a lot of responsibility, a lot of responsible people that, you know, that come on the channel there. So I thought that was pretty funny too. Because my experience, at least with the generations that I've worked with in the last few years, is, what do you call late? A lot of the younger people, if they're within 15 or 20 minutes of when I got there early to get a better parking spot. I hear you there. When our office was in Austin, if you didn't get to work before 7 o'clock, you would be parking 3 blocks away and having to walk to the office. And people, it was so bad at points. It was so bad that people wouldn't leave to go to lunch, because if they did, they'd lose their parking space. And the closest place to eat lunch was, you know, several blocks away, and you'd see people walking on the sidewalks to go eat lunch. But yeah, we don't have to worry about that anymore. Where we're at now, there's nothing around us. If you're going to go anywhere, you got to drive. And it's probably the closest place to eat from us is at least 8 or 9 minutes driving away from our office. So yeah, I always tell everybody, but we have a full-size refrigerator, and you can bring your own stuff. And the landlord yesterday brought barbecue for everybody. I thought that was really nice of him, especially since I've never even met the guy. I mean, he has other people that are that come to the office area to do other stuff, but I've never met the actual landlord himself. So I'm going to have to send him a nice thank you email. I don't even have his email address. I've got to get that so that I can send him a thank you today. But yeah. So anything else I'm trying to think of on Thursday? You know, I was kind of brain dead this morning. Not very, you know, sometimes you just run out of stuff to talk about. And sometimes people who join just don't help you out much. But anyway, it is 6:45. I made it to the 6:45. And so I am going to go ahead and end the live. Dewana, thanks for joining me. Go check out those questions. Some of those are pretty funny answers. If you have time, it's up to you. But we'll be back here in the morning, which tomorrow is Friday. So tomorrow I want to do, which is what I wanted to do today, but got sidetracked. And so I thought, well, we'll just wait and do it tomorrow, but let's do question for question tomorrow. So you ask a question, I get to ask a question. And the last time we did it, it was pretty fun. We got some good questions and good answers, and so I think we'll do that tomorrow. Other than that, that's all I got. It's Thursday. Let's go knock out the day, do something kind for somebody, because you never know what effect it's going to have on them. Check out the little Olot flashlights. They got kicked off of TikTok before I could get my video made. So I thought that was funny. Maybe they'll get it worked out, and I'll post it later. But anyway, everybody have a great day. Be back here tomorrow, 5:45. Thank you for joining Morning Coffee Talk.